Okay, time for the point of no return. A concrete pipe buried in the sand and dust. It feels strange.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
The voice coming through the whirlwind of pain is not malicious. She doesn't want to hurt you, but she has to. Doesn't wish to hurt you, not according to your ear canals. Wait, no, not even your ear canals. This is going directly into your neural pathways.
Cover your ears.
No, buddy, that's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
You're under arrest.
Really now? Check this out.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain.
What's happening?
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
You're using one of those devices used to send signal through the pale on me?
Wow. Check out the big brains on you. You're not entirely wrong. A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking, and you just might get an opportunity to break loose.
How'd you find this thing?
I built it myself.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Way beyond.
That's great, but let's talk about the man who was killed.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
Have you experienced this yourself?
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
Will this last forever?
No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream. If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
Damn this.
God damn it.
She regards you and Kim with sudden sympathy.
Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
She steps reluctantly out of the shadows.
She's carrying a 2-barreled front loader. Remain careful. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. Just keep her talking, and you'll get through this.
Destroy the machine. What a Chad. That's why I wanted a physical focus character.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but...
You're under arrest.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
God damn it. What are you doing?
Problem solving.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes, it is.
Fuck it, we'll try. Convince her.
You should know the words to say. You've been here yourself. So why is it not coming to you?
Why am I standing here like an idiot?
Because you've been going around pointing a gun at yourself, trying to answer the same question in vain.
I was
Her
drunk.
finger squeezes the trigger now.
I was drunk. I didn't mean it.
No, wait. Finally, it comes to you. A way to connect with her.
I know your pain. I've been let down by women too. Wow.
She flashes you an incredulous grin. Then she exhales sharply, shakes her head, and pulls the trigger. You watch as her brains trickle out through her neon hair.
Wow, that definitely didn't happen my first time. What the fuck? She killed herself. I failed.
Lieutenant Yefreitor Dubois, control your emotions. We did our job. This won't be the worst thing that happens on this case, believe me. You can't let this break you.
There is no coming back from this one. It will stay with you in nightmares.
It's our fault.
We are cops. Everything is our fault if we let it be.
Okay, what do we do now?
We clean up. It may take days for processing to pick up her body. We need to move it somewhere. That tent there.
Damn, maybe if I had the gun equipped, I could have shot it out of her hand or something. I don't know. Dark water trails into the distance. There is no way out. What's this? Oh. Health. Med kit shit. Cooking utensils. She has prepared herself porridge with bananas.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. She was used to camping out.
Look inside.
You see a rolled-up sleeping bag and personal belongings.
We should put her in the sleeping bag, so the rats don't get to her.
Okay, let's carry her over here.
The lieutenant nods. There she lies, cocooned in the sleeping bag, surrounded by empty cigarette packs, books, and half-read magazines.
Shine your light on the books and magazines.
Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Sift through the magazines.
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine. It's a leather notebook.
A notebook.
You pocket the worn brown leather journal. She watches by, motionless.
We should read this immediately.
Yep. A well-loved journal with a brown leather cover and a brand name Schneller embossed on the back. It seems to have served as a loyal friend to a lonely traveler.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket.
Examine the cover.
It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name. Schneller. This was important to her when it was still hers.
Unwind the strap.
The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled.
Study the handwriting.
The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently, perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins.
Read it.
It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
We could learn a lot from this.
Kind of logistics.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Professionalism is his coping mechanism.
What are the diagrams of?
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape.
Anything personal?
Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. Staff issues. Always tough on the leadership. You smell traces of betrayal.
How far back do the entries go?
The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
What did she write the day Laylee died?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it.
What's the most recent entry?
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
I don't think she killed the mercenary. It looks like she might have been framed. Too bad we didn't really get to hear her side of the story.
This whole thing was a detour, and a fatal one, he thinks. Don't get emotional.
What do you mean? She died for nothing?
She was in plenty of trouble, even without the murder charge. Still, it's a nasty business.
Who do you think killed the merc then?
Glacier was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or...
Nah.
Either way, we should go back to the Whirling, see if we can find out more about her time there. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the Whirling and Rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
Got a new thought.
Cleaning out the rooms. What if you didn't lose your memory? What if something in Martinez came and stored it all away, for you to slowly open one box at a time, so you can choose which parts to keep? Keep almost none of it. Only the flowers on the windowsill. Only the distant sound of a radio. Lose all the actors, the dark shadows. Leave only the still lifes. The blissful distant wash of waves. If everybody knew, you never did. She'll be coming soon. That is all.
It gives us... Wow. That's really good. +1 suggestion, +1 Inland Empire, rhetoric we don't care about. That's fucking good.
Ratan! Now is the time!
For what?
Oh, you will see. Fast the spirits! The blue medicinal spirits! Grab the bottle and uncork it! It is time to unleash the other world!
Slowly uncork it.
The bottle opens with a silent, mysterious hiss. The fumes rising from its mouth are as crisp as the northern winds. Howling somewhere, lashing the boardwalk with brine and rain. An ancient warmth crawls under your skin.
Now, Bratan, take me off!
What? I didn't know I could do that.
Bratan! Have I ever lied to you? Just take me off!
Your fingers manage to undo the oily knot, and the necktie slides off. It looks so frail sitting there in your hand, weighing almost nothing.
Now what?
Now, put me in the bottle!
Do it.
As the necktie slides into the purifying liquid, large stains of grease rise off from it and float to the surface. There, they quickly dissolve and disappear completely, cleansed by the blue spirit fire of 98.7% pure alcohol. The fabric looks almost new again, no longer like a disgusting worm of the lower intestine, but like a colorful and deadly poisonous reef snake of the Insulindian Ocean.
So what next?
The necktie floats in the bluish liquid with almost unearthly grace.
Necktie?
There is silence. The lieutenant has been observing you quietly all this time. He's struggling to keep silent, but finally seems to give up.
I've got to ask, what are you doing?
My necktie has been talking to me, Kim.
Of course it has.
It started when I woke up in the whirling in rags. It's been talking to me ever since.
And what has the necktie been telling you, if I may ask?
It mostly urges me to party harder.
Wonderful. Okay, so why did you put it in the bottle?
Because it told me to.
Right, okay. Anyway, I'm glad you told me your necktie has been speaking to you. That must not have been easy.
We're all under stress. This is turning into a great big mess. I'm not judging. Just keep it together.
Let's go.
Okay, I guess I can't fast travel.
Stop. Just up ahead. Danger. You are prepared. Don't put away your friend. Your weapon. The barrels of your Villier's 9mm pistol shine threateningly in the cold spring. Wait. Your old friend has prepared you for this, at great cost to himself. Make sure you have the spirit bomb in your hand when shit goes south.
Kim, there's danger up ahead.
Yes, I hear commotion. Let's go.
I'm ready.
Good.
The motherfucking spirit bomb. A gun and a fucking Molotov cocktail. I love it.
I'm all out of shits to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning.
Hey, it's that fucking dude that was protesting. He was a plant, but we never learned that because we couldn't get the information from Joyce. There's a lot that we couldn't, that she wouldn't tell us.
Put your damn gun down. People are gonna get hurt. We need to talk this through. All right? Shut up. You're not gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
This is the scab leader. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate. His fingers reach for the butt of his sidearm. There's something very wrong with him.
He's dangerous. Shh.
This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just return to your unit and forget all about this.
The Kypt is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander. I think we should just kill everyone, Corty.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street? This isn't a frontier town or a jungle outpost.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like this. I'm sure we can come to a peaceful agreement. Ain't that right, fellas?
He is facing overwhelmingly superior firepower, and he knows it.
Peaceful.
It sounds like the armored figure is weeping.
Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild mouse. The masked man's words are barely intelligible, but you can hear them.
Fuck. There are 3 of them. I was hoping there would be less.
This third one, he is the most dangerous of them all. Heavily armed. The lieutenant is genuinely worried for his life. You should consult him before getting in there.
What do we do?
My plan is not to get killed, but we have to intervene.
He doesn't want to, but he must.
Stop. This is the police.
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
He licks his lips, waving his gun at the crowd, losing his balance for a moment. He staggers backwards.
I think he's calmed down a bit. No, he didn't. He's about to open fire.
I can talk to him.
You can't think that way now. This is serious.
Pig fuck!
A voice from beneath the helmet interrupts your thoughts. You only make out the last word. One wrong move and I'm taking your ass out.
To your left, you hear the lieutenant cock his gun.
We're gonna tear right through you. I don't give a shit if you're cops.
No one is going to kill anyone. Let's just put the guns down and talk like civilized human beings.
With a wordless gurgle, the killer loads his long rifle. The leader gives a small nod to the helmeted man. Suddenly, the blue medicinal spirit in your hand seems to have a pulsating glow. It feels enticing somehow.
All right, end game. Light me on fire and throw me in his face.
Even if it comes to a fight, it's a good idea to get under his skin first. No, please. Peace. It has worked this far. Start with the first idea you have. Move down from that.
Suggestion. Formidable.
Dangerous. Ask about him first. You don't want personal facts about his dead friend coming out of your mouth. He has to start it.
I knew you weren't a fucking scab leader.
Yeah, I don't fucking act so well. Laylee had a hard-on for making faces for you natives. Fucking food aid shit. That shit is done now. Trigger time.
Who are
Sergeant Major Raoul Cortiner, reporting in to burn this fucking mud hut to the ground.
you? He points to the whirling.
As he moves, the interlocking pieces of his armor click softly.
For killing, maiming, and humiliating our commanding officer, you're all sentenced to death by lead.
He had blue eyes, didn't he, your colonel?
Baby blue, yeah. Like someone fucked up and put a baby's eyes on a grown man. It was creepy, but bitches like that shit, I guess. Or, I don't know what bitches like. I just know how to mow down cloths.
Your colonel did not deserve to go out like that. I promise I will find his killer.
Find his killer. Cop, his killer stands right there, shitting his pants, and you're standing in the way, protecting them. I know what this tactic is, Silo Sam. You're gonna die for them. Right here.
This did nothing. You think you were onto something? You just wasted time. Please, act.
They didn't do it.
Yeah? Who did that?
Point to the coast. It was, if I tell him it's Ruby, we'll choose one of them. It wasn't Ruby, though. It was someone else, someone who's not here now.
How fucking convenient.
His fingers are twitching. That's a draw reflex. He's about to draw.
He was shot from a great distance. A sniper did it.
You think I'm fucking stupid, cop? What if I just shot one of your pals here, right? How about the kid? Tell me, it's a magic fucking sniper one more time.
Listen, please. This cop and this drumhead cop marshal won't decide who...
He's gonna do it. He's gonna shoot her.
Think. Why doesn't he believe me?
Your mind grinds to a halt. All you can see is the revolver in the man's armored hand, swaying, pointed at her. You move your mouth like a fish gasping for air.
I'll kill you.
Go ahead.
Oh, fuck.
The shot rings in your ears, a low, tinny ring. Then the Hardy Boys yell something.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
She's not. She's bleeding out. If she doesn't get help in 10 minutes, she'll die.
Fuck this!
Gene! Cancel Lizzie! Now!
He'll be ripped apart. They all will. The moment the third man opens fire,
Fuck it, throw the spirit bomb.
he knows it.
God damn it, I failed.
You throw the bomb and it's way off.
It's a fiasco!
Even at this distance, you can still make out the ugly tie suspended in blue liquid. It looks extremely worried. Wow, you threw it far. Great throw. Too bad the goal was to throw it a very short distance. And now everyone will die.
Shit.
I bet you are!
The fiery container hurtles towards the earth with the last wink of light. It shatters to 1,000 pieces.
Around you, time starts moving again. The sounds of violence and panic. To your right, the killer raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His moves are steady, but the long barrel of the rifle sways slowly.
Dodge the shot.
A low shot rings. You feel a tapping like rain on your chest plate. Heavy drops of rain. Then the sound of dice rolling as the cuirass distributes the shot evenly from plate to plate. You got hit. The armor took most of it, but still your ribcage burns. Feels like blood is slowly seeping into your lungs.
God, please.
2 shots ring at once. One from the lieutenant's pistol, and the other from DePaul's. It's aimed at the lieutenant, but it misses. You hear a scream behind you.
Kim, did he hit the rifleman?
Blood gushes from the helmet's eye sockets as Rude staggers back, disoriented. The sounds coming from his helmet are not human. An unbelievable shot from the lieutenant.
Who screamed?
Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled torso has 2 gunshot wounds. Blood gushes out of them like red geysers. Oh God, watch out. You see 2 cold eyes looking at you through all the smoke and panic, and a pistol raised, aiming at your chest, point blank. Then the man squeezes the trigger.
Evade it. Holy fuck. Good thing I have the armor.
You can't. There is no time. Something inside your pelvis explodes. Your entire lower body is on fire and your legs can't support you. you fall down like a rag doll. The pain is too immense to scream. It pushes the air out of your lungs. Everything goes dark, a distant blur as you recede into it.
Listen through the darkness and the pain.
The Hardy Boys are yelling. Someone is running, jumping over you. In the background you hear gunfire shatter glass, and then a man in pain. A familiar sound. It's Titus with a splat like meat. You hear bullets rip into him. His voice still giving orders.
Wow, this is
grows
tragic, dude.
fainter. A gurgle. He's not gonna make it.
No. Open your eyes.
Nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain. Distant shadows cast by them. Like a hellish play.
You're bleeding out.
There's a white shadow that smells like apricots. It's always there.
Stay with me.
You feel burning hot tears streaming from your eyes. Oh, that's sad. I shouldn't have called her. Now she hates me.
Yes, keep talking. You hear me? Stay awake.
But you can't. It's so hard. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the sounds ever more distant. And the cold comes over you. The lieutenant, too, is somewhere far away, almost gone. When suddenly, you sense something behind him, a shadow towering. Someone stands there, raising his pistol at him. The lieutenant does not see
No.
it. He's pushing down on your wound with both hands. Scream immediately. He's gonna die.
No, Kim!
No, you say, and hand out your firearm to him. Your hand trembles, and your eyes are full of fear. That's all it takes. There is no room for hesitation. The lieutenant moves like a spring unloaded. He grabs the gun from your bloody hand and fires behind him. You hear a roar of pain, a death scream. The sound disappears like someone pressed stop on the tape. The hulking figure, too, is gone. And so is Kim. And the whole world.
Fall into total darkness.
This is death. One more door, baby. One more door.
No, let me back into the fight.
The fight? There is no fight. The fight is over. It was lost 1,000 years ago. You have laid here forever. Keep falling deeper. Take the door. He's not taking it. His body is not taking it. Oh God, no. He's not disintegrating. He's swelling up instead. Over the hours, hurting, moaning in his sleep, and rotting, and being disinfected, and smelling of drugs, and feeling saliva in his mouth, drifting in painkillers, thrashing in his wound sleep.
He can't go. Not before the case is solved. There is a radio in the distance. A radio of the world. Playing sounds. Good morning, Elysium. Soon you will return to the world.
Hours turn to days. Soon we will get up again and go through it again. Finally we know what the infernal engine was outside. The clarion call. It was him. He is the infernal engine. He never stops. He only gets worse.
You see the lieutenant's familiar shape in the orange jacket. It turns double, then triple, from the pain. It's nothing. You're alive. That's what matters.
I'm alive.
Sunrise, Parabellum.
He's in the middle of a freshly cleaned room with the fan above his head like a halo. His face is covered in bruises. The piss jacket, Kim. You took it off.
Yes. The joke wasn't funny anymore. I took it off.
What happened?
You tried to throw an improvised petroleum bomb. It missed. Then you said, "It's a fiasco, bratan," in a funny voice. A firefight ensued.
Shit. The time made me do it.
The lieutenant does not answer. Instead, searching his coat pockets for something. A smoke, most likely.
So what happened then?
As retaliation, the rifleman tried shooting you. He hit the cuirass. I heard it go off. I was looking for a clear line of sight to him.
He sounds a tiny bit sorry he did not find it before you got hit.
I shot and wounded him, while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. He did not survive.
This is not the first person to die in his place. He goes on.
Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo died before they made it to intensive care. Titus died in the hospital yesterday. Alain and the young musician, I forget his name, they are all that's left.
Titus is dead?
Yes.
Damn.
You were bleeding out. I think you said something about your wife, and you warned me. I was able to disarm the Major before he got a jump on me.
Thank you. Although
I was not able to kill him, as I should have. Crenel took him. A stray bullet killed the Pole, though. And that's what happened.
Titus is dead?
Yes.
And the Major?
He's in a private hospital across the river. Crenel claimed him from the local butcher shop where Titus died. Turns out he's insured.
there is unveiled anger in his voice.
We won't get to him anymore. The good news is he's not coming here either. I did some damage.
How many casualties on the Union side?
6. Glenn, Theo, Shanky, Angus. The fat one, he took a lot of bullets. And Titus. And Elizabeth too. Elizabeth Beaufort was her name. The gardener.
She didn't make it?
No, she bled out before Everard's surgeon could help her. Everard sent his personal doctor, but a costly loss for the Union. She was being trained for leadership.
Damn, I did all I could.
I know you did. It's all right.
That's right.
That's that.
All.
It was a shit show, Kim.
Yes, officer. 6 people are dead. It's not a success.
+1.
But what's done is done. The violence is cordoned off. The mercenary tribunal is neutralized. The worst scenario has not materialized yet. And we are still alive. Both of us.
His smoking, his hunched back. You have it worse, but he took a real beating. That cigarette has medicinal purposes.
How bad am I hurt?
Reasonably bad. You were shot in the left quadriceps. That's your thigh. It appears no major arteries were nicked. The bullet was removed and a bacterial infection treated with mercurochrome. The bruising in your shoulder is negligible. The armor took the brunt of the fire.
Can I walk?
We will see.
If it's possible, then by pure willpower alone, you are going to have to become a psycho-locomotor.
I'm a psycho-locomotor.
Good. You'll need to be. Whatever that is.
Has anyone from my station been to see me?
No.
A man and a woman sit in the front seat of an armored motor carriage. The woman is driving. The man lights a cigarette. Jean-Vic Mayer is his name. The asphalt vanishes under the wheels of the machine. Ahead, harbor cranes rise to the sky.
JV was our old partner. That's him. So that dude who was in the bar downstairs dressed up with the stupid wig that we had questions for, that's my old partner, and I'm just crazy and forgot everything. But I read the notes of our partner before. It said JV. It has to be that fucking guy.
Back to that shithole, he says.
Isn't that strange?
I called your station after the fight. The injury was logged in. They told me they've sent officers to join you on the site.
Odd. You haven't seen any, have you?
I'm sure they're worried about you.
Are you hurt?
Not very. I have a concussion from the Major beating me with the butt of his gun. I tried to not move too much. Things would be worse if you didn't warn me. Thank you. I did not see him coming. Stupid of me.
Okay, get up.
Easy now.
You can take it. Just don't lean on that leg of yours too heavily. Your balance is way off. You feel like you're about to fall over on that thing.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. Let's rock.
He nods.
What happens now, Kim?
I honestly don't know.
Really?
We can't talk to Everard. The harbor is in lockdown. Everyone in there is outside our grasp now. Joyce has left too, thanks to our meddling.
Oh, I guess I wasn't supposed to talk to her anymore?
Yes, Joyce Messier. On the boat, you know? She could have helped us. It's clear the mercenaries were working for Wild Pines. At least partially. It's a little late to elicit her support now. Ruby's gone. And Glacier, well, at least she's safely locked away.
Who did it then, Kim? Who killed the fucking hangman?
I don't know. I think the theory you presented, it's someone else, outside our circle of suspects, was right. It better be. Everyone within the circle is either dead or gone. Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced a single credible suspect.
There's still a 28% chance the shot came from a distance.
We should go upstairs, rethink the ballistics in situ. I agree with this. What else?
See? There's that. You can do ballistics.
The fucking Maybells, Kim, the flowers.
What?
Yank it out and show the dried flower. This one, remember?
Every piece of garbage in the city is not connected to the case. You don't have to keep everything.
The footprints.
Yes. God curse the footprints. Not solving the case for us. Au diable.
There's all these old bunkers, weapon caches, the Revolutionary era.
We could find thousands more if we wanted. All of Revachol is full of them.
But they seemed so mysterious.
I can't believe they're all fucking useless.
No need to be melodramatic.
You know what I think about solving crimes?
He arches his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
It's hard.
It really is very hard.
He sounds surprisingly weary. That concussion must be making him dizzy.
You're not ready to give up, are you?
No. Are you ready to limp?
I'm ready.
Good. Where do you want to limp to?
Let's check her room again.
Why not? Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through. I don't know. I can't think of anything better.
Alright, let's try to solve who fucking did it. Ouch, that leg hurts. Maybe if you don't run, it'll be okay.
Two neon-lit shapes. A man and a woman having sex.
What is the point of
A ray
origin,
backward
damn it?
motion explodes from his mouth. It's not the roof. And had it come from the coast, you would have probably stumbled upon it while you were running around over there. This leaves the island in the bay.
I think the shot came from the islet.
It's not impossible. There is a narrow opening between the commercial area and the collapsed tenement north of it.
There are ruins on that islet, a sunken sea fort. I saw it through the coin-operated viewer.
I remember.
There's also this is also a location we have yet to rule out.
So it is.
For a second he seems tired.
Maybe we should go there?
He is trying to justify it to himself. He sees danger. Another trap, perhaps. He must be cautious for a reason. This man has decades of experience.
Kim, let's go to the fucking island.
Okay, let's go to the fucking island. How do we get there? Joyce Messier had a sloop, but she's gone.
Lillian, the net picker, she's tarring her boat.
Ah, yes, of course.
Yay! Okay, I didn't totally... I obviously did not do this perfectly, as I missed some stuff, but hey, it's part of it. We were playing a fucking brute asshole with low intelligence, so what do you expect? But I had fun, and we still seem like we'll get to solve it, even though it was a shit show along the way. Oh. Oh, wow, this is fucked up.
Seeing you approach, the bruised man raises his beer can in welcome.
Oh, it's you. Didn't think we'd see you walking anytime soon. Elaine, look. It's the cowardly cop.
Cowardly?
Huh?
I stood up for you.
He's very, very...
Our condolences for your losses.
Fuck off.
Yeah, you too. It's a rough world out there. It's not easy being a cop. We were too hard on you. Both of you. We shouldn't have fucked with you like we did. You got between us and a lot of bullets in that fight. Matinees owes you one.
That's kind of you to say.
That's more like it.
Take care of your friend, okay?
I will. You take care of yours.
A sharp pain shoots up your side and into your stomach. You must not look too good.
Hi again, Gendarme. Bye-bye, Gendarme.
Oh shit.
The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. It smells of blood and heavy fuel oil. This was Cindy the Skull.
Looks like Cindy the Skull finally found words for her masterpiece.
The lieutenant crouches, touching the fuel oil with his finger.
Looks like it. Yes. This is still fresh.
Officer Harry, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
You seem angry. Why?
Look at you. You can barely walk.
I got shot in the foot. It was pretty badass. You'd have liked it.
Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
You should see the other guys. They're all dead.
So you're a killer? That's good, I guess. I guess. Better than being dead.
Scoff. In a masculine manner.
She just looks at you, her tea-length skirt flapping in the wind.
I have a question.
Of course. Can I help you with something?
I need to get to that island.
That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead.
Can we use your boat?
If you promise to bring it back. And no scraping the hull. I just got it nice and yellow. And no drinking on the boat. And no joyriding either.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two. Official police business.
Aye.
What if I want to rock?
See, that makes me not want to lend you my skiff. On a boat, rocking leads to capsizing. That there is an absolutely 100% rock-free skiff.
All right,
You got
all right.
that?
Thank you. We'll use it to get there.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
Seeing you.
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure you want to go now? Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts?
You take the engine, Kim. I'll hold the boombox.
What?
Nothing.
Fine. Why not?
Very cool. Now tune it to SAD FM.
Want to be free. Want to be free.
The boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. Then there's silence. In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails takes off in the distance. Let's go.
A makeshift bridge. The bombs were powerful enough to break the foundation. A rusted chain trails off into the ocean.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
Ah, this leads to the depot and Land's End.
Ah, yes, so it seems.
What do you think it was used for?
For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And
Interesting, interesting. The tires are falling apart. They're at least 50 years old. Attention, inflammable. There's a lingering trace of mazout in the air. Some fuel has leaked out of the barrel. Black, viscous. The barrel says ICM. You see a star with little specks in it. This little birch from the coin... The little birch from the coin-operated viewer is still holding on. No way to get up there. The stairs are gone.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
it's cold now. But someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Pour fuel in.
The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up.
Oh,
to the
that
fuel
fucking
tank
canister
as you
I
tilt.
found a million years
Dark
ago.
brown,
That's so
viscous
silly.
fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch.
Hold the rope.
The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
Books, mostly fantastique and historical fiction. Dishes stained with sauce and fire. A moth-bitten bedsheet keeps the wind out. You see candles planted on a broken rangefinder.
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized.
Sift through them.
Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures, among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories. You find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Anything stand out?
Not that you can tell. This is a digest of someone.
Nothing?
Maybe it's a little old.
Yeah, I don't have the intelligence for that shit. Gray blast door weighs over 10 tons. Rust peels off of it.
You see a small metal door nested inside a lot.
Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
Where are the controls?
I think there's a console just southeast. Let's look around. Getting
Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
What is this?
the console of an antique computation device. There was a generator upstairs with wires coming out. They terminate here.
Could this open the door?
I think, yes. Let's see. That one. The emergency open.
Open it.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in. A sudden wave of anxiety makes your skin crawl.
After you.
Let's go. A rubber dinghy. It's deflated, broken. Small white flowers blossom all around you.
An old man, wearing tracksuit trousers, leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours, unclouded by cataracts. His eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
You've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
A shudder of disgust passes his right side. His left side remains motionless.
Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Is that a Bell Margrave?
It's a 3-Angong 446.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
The Sinyao commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk, wiped from the board.
Your weapon has stayed true to you. Mine has stayed true to me too.
Yes. I bet you've killed a lot of people with it. You fascist fuck. Have you come to make me one of them?
We have come to ask you questions. Nothing more. If you do not comply, we will take you in. Do you understand?
Another spitball lands in the ashes. That's all the answer he gives.
The danger levels here are hard to read. One moment he's a fire, the next a fire gone out.
I'm with the police. You can keep your gun, but keep it down. Not one move.
No.
Whoa. Kim points his pistol at his head.
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
He lays the rifle down carelessly.
Like an amputated limb in the sand.
Pick up the gun.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire. Still warm from his parched hands. Not the metal. The metal is ice cold. This weapon has been modified several times.
This rifle's been patched and modified several times.
I wonder how old it is.
The old man does not answer. He just stares in front of him.
Inspect.
The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangong, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
So as he said, it's Triangong, made in Xinyao.
Worn. Personalized even. Looks like this weapon has seen a lot of use, hasn't it?
No response from the old man. The plastic cape around his shoulders rustles in a small bout of wind.
This uses jacketed ammunition, 4.46mm.
Jacketed. Military-grade ammunition. Stable in flight. Good for hitting something that's very, very far away.
As he speaks, he stresses every word. He's liking this.
Put the gun away.
The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly.
Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
His eyes turn to the reed again, dead and dull.
The commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? Your holdover from the...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
How long have you been here?
43 years. No. I've been on other islands too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
You've been hiding here for 43 years?
43 years and 10 months.
That's impressive.
It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just couldn't.
You couldn't give up.
He nods, but he can now.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Where it's morning, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people are walking. The gas streetlights have already been switched off. Further inland, in Jamrock, the streets come alive with workers. Men, women, children rushing. Muddy avenue after muddy avenue. The temperature is rising. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41. 2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects giant letters across the plaza mosaic in dark red government-marked heavy fuel oil. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smelling of petroleum. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting.
The old man turns his eyes from the shore and back to you. For what?
For her to return.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution.
I come from there. I can assure you that is not what the people are planning.
I am not a fool. I know. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
What has he done? Perhaps a confession will lighten the load.
What have you done then?
Yes, what? To get things going again? Fan the flame?
There is no flame to fan. There is nothing left of the world, of our dreams.
You just said you deserted your unit?
I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
I understand.
Well done. I won't explain it to a minion of capital.
What is this place, this island?
It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
How have you survived this whole time?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
What do you steal?
Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stew, too.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
How have you coped mentally?
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of I don't even know what. Inferno?
I also live in hell.
At least you know it. The traders of this city turned the lights back on in the 30s, after the fighting stopped. Ruins, glittering in the dark like a fucking merry-go-round.
That's part of why I love this game so much. Like, I've had issues with depression since I was in like 5th grade, and sometimes you literally do live years of your life in absolute fucking hell.
It's disgusting.
He looks down at his shoes. His face parched from the sun and the wind. There's a wince of pain in there somewhere.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
How have you hidden yourself all these years?
It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their vein. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead.
How'd you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted.
Jesus.
I just...
The weapon cache under St. Ghislaine 22B in the basement. You been there?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right?
They were damaged beyond use.
I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
Well, we're near the end. We might as well use our skill points. I wanted to get all these to at least 6. Save 1. There's a small bunker under the Feld building. Have you been there?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
Killed themselves?
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
You said this is your termless surrender?
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
We enforce the law. We keep these animals from killing each other.
You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste d'Insolent. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit.
The last question is super fucking obvious. You're a communist soldier? Duh. I have another serious question for you.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
What have you been using that gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Here we go. A trail of blood. The lieutenant smells it too.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. But
what?
This is what you live for. This is the shit. The great serotonin jackpot. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
Did you use that gun to shoot and kill the mercenary on the coast?
The who now?
The fascist death squad who took a bullet in the mouth on the night of March 4th.
Oh yes, that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
This guy's insanely based.
Tear into him. Pile it on him. Everything you got on him. The more, the gun. The murder weapon is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
I don't need your cooperation. I've got this.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that. Jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons, eh? Going against automatic rifles with a flame bomb. Of course you got all those boys killed.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
Stop changing the subject. We've got the murder weapon.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it?
Yes, we have the weapon.
Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
This pushed him, but not enough. Just a little more.
What am I forgetting?
Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Classia's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up.
Nice.
You got it. Remember? The boot prints were like no modern soul. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal. Nothing else comes up. You see the lieutenant watch you. Try to stimulate thought processes by hitting yourself. I'm sorry, this didn't do anything. Usually hurting yourself does.
Officer, a word?
No.
Almost where? Almost ready to bleed to death.
No, come on. A word. Let's go. I think we may have this.
You think he did it?
From nothing to this in a day. This is good, Lieutenant Gefreiter. We just need a confession first, and then maybe a solid motive later.
I'm trying to get him to confess.
Yes, good going. That should be our first priority.
Okay, what am I missing?
Ballistics. Let him cook here for a minute or two. We can have another look around the island for a sniper's nest. I think we should check out the post.
It doesn't have to hold in court. Just establish a line of sight, and he'll do the resting.
Remember, he wants to tell us, but he doesn't want to help us. It needs to look like we already have everything.
There is palpable excitement in his tone. He likes him for this. A lot. But there's something more, too.
Okay. There's a tower. The winch is broken. Rust has eaten what remains of it.
A strange feeling, looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea. Leave it all, and walk in with a bottle in your hand.
No. I didn't give in to the drugs nearly as much as I wanted to, but most of it was like, fuck it, quit everything and die. It's like, well, okay, no. I mean, maybe if I wanted to play a shit show run where you fail completely. A weathered artillery map shows coordinates in the Bay of Revachol, an old medicine cabinet. Oh, there's another gas can just in case we got rid of our old one.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
This looks like a good place to aim from.
Inspect the wall.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Look through the hole.
The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation, a tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water. The ruins look familiar.
On the right.
The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the Whirling in Rags, Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10, the doomed commercial area.
On the left?
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B.
And between the two?
The box-shaped silhouette of the Whirling in Rags. You see a small fleck of white on the rooftop, the upstairs window of Clausia's room, in the rain, reflecting light.
Motherfucker.
What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window?
Yep. There's an opening between 33A and 10. I can see it.
I can see it. Through the scope of a rifle. The shooter would be prone, lying on the mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
Cheek against the cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger, on a calm day like this.
Kim, I could make it. I could make this shot.
Good. I think we have it, Detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Booyah!
Why not? We have the weapon and ballistics. As you say, it's pretty booyah.
Booyah. Alright, let's go take this motherfucker in. The inside of the fortress, you can make out the console and the blast door. A firing slit. The hatch is jammed shut. Water rushes below, far below.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
We need to talk about you killing the colonel.
Petty bourgeois law. This is all you care about, right? The only thing in the world for you types.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Tear into him again. Pile it on him.
What kind of boots are you wearing?
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa? Some shit.
Show me the souls, please, Mr. Doras.
Fucking imbecile.
The old man stretches out his leg. A black and white spiral pattern covers the sole of the worn-out old running shoes on his feet.
The maker is called Sensory. You see their V-shaped logo, but can't make out the size. These are not the unusual horizontal pattern soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the sole.
It may be simpler than that.
Simpler? No. This is another loose thread you will never connect.
God damn it.
The lieutenant raises his brow. What are you doing? He's thinking. We almost got him here. Not now. Stop yourself.
People change shoes, Detective. It was you. You were there, weren't you? Crawling and whirling in rags. What were you doing? Some kind of reconnaissance? Preparing the scene? Listening in on her?
Trying to rack your brains. You're desperate to report something back to your masters. They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance. More. He's gonna crack. But you need a little more.
We did the ballistics. The shot came from this island.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dross. Too long. You need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
It's the best interrupted line of sight in that window in all of Martinez.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms in your brain.
Another sudden twitch, and there's one more in the right eye.
A spasm of rage, sudden and uncontrollable.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer, armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer, dripping with blood.
He was a soldier, too. He was a man. He was a rapist. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it.
Beating us to the ground, moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
So you killed him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
You can almost see him squeeze a tear out of his eye. His fists begin to tremble from anger.
The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you. Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling.
Hold your breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them. In phase. And I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her.
Then what?
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own. And so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
And you were looking at Dan, the victim and a young woman, having sex through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
I don't understand. Do you, detective?
Why
I
were
don't
you?
understand this part.
Why were you looking at them?
I'm always looking.
He cocks his head to the side, then turns his eyes to the city. Another tremor passes his right side, lower in intensity.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
Helps him see all the shit.
And if you don't like it?
Click.
If it's part of the shit you see...
Then you pull the trigger?
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
Start with when he first saw him. It will give him a chance to ramble.
When did you first see the deceased?
3 weeks ago, when the rich hag came in on her galley. Her honor guard came in tow.
Ah, you mean Joyce Messier, the Wild Pines rep?
Wrinkled up whore.
What is it with these whores and pederasts? Aren't you a commie?
Black sexual morals are a bourgeois ploy. As to pederasty, the party legalized it in '04. My party, not your liberal masters.
The far left and the far right often have things in common.
So don't you sermonize me, you racist shithole. It's still bourgeois when the bourgeois does it, fiddling with their sexual organs.
Some strange glandular process takes place in him at the thought, like yeast rising. And anger too, in addition to loneliness.
Moving on.
They moved into a deserted apartment above the roundabout. Radio equipment out for all to see. Reactionary radio playing, sloppy and drunk. I've seen their kind during the landing. Those Occidental and masked phalangs weren't conscripts. Boys like us. They were whites. All they know is to destroy and hurt.
I see.
Hurting the strike breakers like that. I kept an eye on them.
What specifically did you not like about what you saw the night of the murder?
Them. Fucking. I didn't like that.
So you were jealous?
Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second. Writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
This man has seen past her, like you did. And now he longs to see her covered in blood. To punish her.
You wanted to punish her, so you killed him.
She practically breastfed that man. You wouldn't believe the things she let him do to her.
While he stands here and rots.
You saw through her, so did I.
You're delusional. There's nothing to see in the soul of the bourgeois woman. It's the same as the surface. Sick hedonism and desperation.
Amen. Jesus, that's a little much. I don't hate women. It's a societal thing, like he's talking about bourgeois. It's not their gender. Although, well, yeah, but it's not all women or whatever. She did deserve a good punishing. That's kind of cringe. I hate women too. That's kind of cringe. Yeah, sure. She did deserve a good punishing. Did she, though?
Made a little love nest up there. Sweaty linen and bottles they would use for God knows what. I saw other men there too, but I can't be sure. Even a woman once.
A red-haired woman? Ruby.
That kind of thing is fine by the party. So is fine by me. But it goes to show you.
How long were you watching her?
Since she came to Martinez. I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving.
Past the Fell building on the coast? What was she doing there?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
And beautiful.
What do you think and beautiful? Wow, that's cringe. It's not cringe, it's just like, he's gonna be like, you fucking pathetic bourgeois scum, capital, slave. What do you think she hid there?
Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Brut.
Ah, the hidden buoy she told us about. You took it.
After she was gone.
Did you keep what was in it? When we found the submersible, it was empty.
No. Why would I do that? I didn't need tickets to Villiers. I'd put them back. If I wanted to extort someone, I'd do better.
Maybe Kuno took it. Are you sure? We checked it. There was nothing in there.
Why would I need that trash? I'm not going to Villiers.
Moving on, did you continue to watch her after that?
I did. She had a face like an archipelago with those birthmarks. And a body hard and lean and bruised all over. Black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
Cloaca means asshole.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
How'd you see all this? The bruises? Was she beaten?
I'm not blind, am I?
Reaction speed. Challenging. How does he know about those minute details about her body?
It quickly comes to you.
Ever see her through a window on a roof?
Mm-hmm.
You've been through the secret...
Bending like a bow against the glass.
You've been through the secret route behind the whirling and rags. Those were your footprints. You just changed your shoes.
I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny.
That too.
Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you. One more loose end down. We're doing this, detective.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union Box window.
You had feelings for her? I don't think he had feelings for her. I think he hates everything, and he's very bitter. So in conclusion, it wasn't about him, it was about her.
Her.
He repeats, staring at the ashes, then the reeds. There's a twitch in the corner of his eye.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement. That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she? I haven't seen her there for days.
Oh, he's gonna be pissed. We arrested her.
Locked up with your masters, like I'll be. Maybe we'll meet. She kept staring into the scope, you know. In the end, like she knew. Staring at the island. The fort. Like she knew I was here. It doesn't matter.
Across the harbor, on the south bank of the river Esperance, the air stands still outside Precinct 57. A two-story box of duraluminium near the gates to Terminal H.
Look east.
Inside a cell, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and alcohol all at once, while two men in brown suits wave ICP badges at a young policeman.
Oh no.
She hears the door open and knows it's over. They've come for her. Outside, it's springtime. The river flows blue and green into the Bay of Martinez. There, on a dilapidated jetty in a nameless village, 2 police officers and 1 special consultant look across a narrow strip of sea. The ruins of a sea fort stick out of the water, built by Philippe II, reappropriated by the Commune, then lost in the landing. He's there, doing what exactly I don't know. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer points at the ruins. Behind that anti-aircraft something. That's why we can't see him. Special Consultant Heidelstam is optimistic. We'll see the boat when he comes. Let's go get a coffee until then. I know this interesting little place where, as the men go, Patrol Officer Minnow looks back over her shoulder at the crumbling fortification like a rotten tooth rising out of the water. Good luck, Harry, she thinks. You need something good for this.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
You could get more out of him. He likes talking. Enough. Take him in. Bend his arms behind his back and end this.
We'll try to assess his body language.
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble, who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit.
That's it?
He's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished. But that's it. You can see no more by looking at his slouched frame. The moment passes, and you say,
Yosef Lilianovich Dros, you're under arrest for the murder of the Crenel colonel here in Martinez.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But...
You understand?
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too. Eyes getting blacker and blacker.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
Does it have room for 3?
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here. But
there's something you're not getting here that he's realizing.
What?
Who watches over him there while I come back for you?
Maybe I can just ask that net picker to watch him.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen now.
I could come back for you once I've taken him to the precinct.
Okay, how about I take him to the precinct and you wait on the island?
I'll do it, and let's not get into this.
This world? What are you talking about? Is this... us?
Your skin is crawling suddenly. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
What is that?
What are you talking about?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you, with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you, and your gun hand rise instinctively.
I've finally gone insane.
You feel the lieutenant's hand on your back, and then you hear him say,
I can see it.
Thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. It's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
He whispers and takes a step towards the giant arthropod.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. The segmented antennae move with apprehension, searching for something that's not there. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
Approach it carefully.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your chest. You reek of it, your chemicals. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now. No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Stand on your tiptoes and look closer.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish.
Kim, it's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one.
Tell me, what are you doing?
I exist.
Me too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
I'm ill.
What is your illness?
In my heart, for me, it's sadness. Input after input.
For me, it is not like that. I have states, not the emotions. For example, I experience excitement at unexpected sugar rewards. But that is not important. Now I will tell you how it is for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist.
Intruded on by what?
Shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. A swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never ache.
The fuck is happening right now?
I don't know. You're just a shadow for me. Far away, faintly transmitting, but for a curious smell.
You're the type of animal I would like to be.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Sometimes, when molting, I will grow a lost limb. One time something went wrong, and a small leg replaced the missing antenna.
That's cool.
No, the leg tried to move around independently, making it hard to walk.
Okay.
So, you see, it's sometimes difficult to be an insect. All of nature is a kind of horror, or strife, though none of it is as horrible as you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain.
Where does this come from, all of this around us, the world?
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
And all we can do is beat our fists against it day after day with no answer?
You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
Wait, so
you look like a reed and you eat reeds?
Yes, they don't mind.
Have you ever accidentally eaten another reed phasmid?
Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter.
What the fuck?
And I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident.
I'm a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
The killer.
He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration.
You're destroying him?
Very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him.
I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts.
No, there is one more.
No, there are no more.
A series of chirrups surrounds you, like swallows on a cliffside, as the phasmid moves its forearms, timbals visible on the inside of its white stalks.
Kim, take the picture.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
I got it.
You hear the lieutenant whisper as the creature's shape develops onto photo paper in his hand. A polychrome ghost of white streaks against the reeds in the sky, and you as a shadow before it.
For all time.
We got it.
Don't say it. Are you sure? This may be the only chance you get to touch it.
I'm sure.
A shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Disengage.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface. And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
It's gone.
What now?
What now?
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him. It looks like the insect had some kind of nest there. Look. Maybe it has left some proof.
We found the scope and the helmet for the fucking armor. We have completed the suit of the armor. Hell yeah.
Brother, you've managed to collect all the armor pieces. Too bad it's too late for the big showdown.
Well, at least my impulse has been satisfied.
Indeed, you found it all. Now your mortal coil is completely protected. Few cops are this futuristic.
I am truly invincible. Oh, we found her passport.
What is it? What do you want from me? See.
Mr. Drost?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed mouth shaking with fear and longing, like an addict of some terrible substance.
touch him.
The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man. Other than that, no reaction. He feels small and frail.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
What is happening to this man?
Old age and shock.
Yeah.
The appearance of the Phasmid in conjunction with the stress of the arrest. He spent his entire life here. For him to leave would be...
We found some things in the Phasmid's nest, Mr. Dross.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should...
Show him the scope.
I lost...
You lost it?
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there, with the help of a Magpie Phasmid. This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. You've gotten all you will out of this poor being. The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The strength has all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of tracksuit trousers and a windbreaker.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here, if we don't take too long.
Okay. Let's go back and face the final music.
The skiff is swaying.
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet, but for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. 2 men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village, looking at a small yellow boat as it draws closer. The sea is calm. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Look what the tide brought him.
Says the man without sunglasses. Suddenly his expression changes and he tilts his head.
I want to call you a teapot, but I'm honestly kind of impressed. No idea where you got all that gear, but there's no doubt in my mind that some bad people are looking for it. Also, you look like a fucking idiot.
The armor? No one else seems to be bothered by it.
Oh, really? They don't seem bothered by it? That's because you're a cop in an exoskeleton.
Yeah, I'm a cop in a goddamn exoskeleton.
Actually, are you? Are you still a cop? There's so much disco going on, it's hard to tell.
Vic, calm down.
Who are you?
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstam. I believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Comar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heilerstam, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us. We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
No, Kim, you got my back. Let's destroy them.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi. Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
This is the horse-faced woman. I don't know why you named her that, but it was beyond idiotic. You should never address her using those words again.
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trant, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets.
Where have you been all this time? There was a mercenary tribunal.
God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die.
Why would you leave a literal police god?
You were crying hysterically. You were drunk, breaking things, being emotionally abusive. You said we were going into the abyss. None of us wanted to see the abyss. So we fucked off. Like you told us to.
How'd you know I was here?
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
I saved his establishment and still he betrays me.
Strange. He didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look saved at all. There was a giant aerograffito in front of the building, mixed with blood.
It was a junior delinquent.
I don't know. It had shit kid written all over it.
You're not a... Yeah, obviously. Duped again. No one says who they are.
Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Yeah, well, that does have something to do with it.
No. Everyone's just a brilliant master of disguises.
You mentioned a task force?
Yeah. Major Crimes Unit. Under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
No.
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Tron fucking Heidelstein, and Guillaume Baby.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
What does the unit do?
It's a Major Crimes Unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
They're your posse, or what remains of it. Hand-picked, hand-lost.
The 41st isn't...
None of this is ringing any bells.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Detective God. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic. As displayed in a station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Something so sad happened to me that I couldn't be me anymore. It was a defense mechanism.
Psychotraumatic amnesia, Trant? I can go for that. Shit kid is a broken man. Always has been. Who isn't? I know I am. But you know what? I keep my shit together. Also, I know a person can't wipe their own mind, however traumatic it gets. That doesn't happen. You're lying, or insane, or both.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before.
I have?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it, hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
Leadership. Now.
I'm ready to lead again.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension?
They can keep that pension. You're rock solid. You can put your clothes on hard.
What now?
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
I drove into the ocean when I was drunk.
Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty.
I mean...
Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
Show it.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand.
Hand-eye coordination. All in. No! Wow.
You juggle the badge for a second, unsuccessfully, and it lands on the ground, some 2 meters away. Ouch! You strained your elbow trying to catch that stupid thing. Damn it.
He found it. He found it, Jean. It's his badge.
And your gun?
Here we go again. Lost gun, lost gun. Trying to terrorize you.
I upgraded my gun to a... No. I have a gun. Behold all my guns. If anything, I need more hands. Show him that I have 2 pistols and 2 rifles.
I don't care about your collection. You hoarding freak. Is one of them your service weapon? I only want to know about that one gun.
Yes, here it is.
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
Yeah, I'm drunk. I won't know. So it doesn't even matter that I found it?
You were never supposed to lose it in the first place. Not lost. Is your gun's natural state. You drunk bum.
Yeah, I'm drunk. I'm also on drugs.
A woman shot herself in the head because you went in high and intimidated her, didn't you? Ruby something? You basically killed her yourself.
We've read the reports. Lieutenant Kitsuragis. We know.
You're right. I messed up there. I pressured her, and it's on me.
Oh, well. If you feel guilty about it. I'm not even gonna get into what this means for the Ethics Commission. Not to mention the catatonic old lady with the police lights. Or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now. Doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 9 people who were gunned down. The streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals.
Here comes the cavalry.
He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot and survived only because of his armor. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
Yep, I also solved the case. It's solved, all of it.
Detective, it's better if I do that.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He thinks of apologizing, but decides against it.
You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Yefretor Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the lost gun, also losing his badge, that's all true. And he's been drinking on the job.
The man sighs deeply.
Then there's the superstardom. He likes to, from time to time, allude to being a superstar law official. At first I thought it was a joke, but now I'm not so sure. He says disco about 20 times a day. It's worrying, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a fascist. He's spent hours trying to find a way to reverse time with other far-right individuals. And, of course, there's the race stuff, which, for a police officer, not good. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, and the drugs, of course. Some kind of anti-radiation drug he uses to induce visions. But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I have seen.
So we did really well, but we did everything that Kim hates, but we did well. So how's this gonna end?
He can talk human beings into telling him everything. And he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which by the way was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Yeah, it was what it was.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo and shows it to the officers across the yard. Thick white snow falls all around you. Flakes stick to the glossy photo of the phasmid. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
So, as you can see, I'm a pretty good fucking detective and an absolutely giant fascist.
Fucking hell. Is this somehow connected to the case?
The killer did not seem to be aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yes, but also...
Yes, the phasmid may have contributed to his mental state in some way over the years.
So it is
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness.
I also started the nightclub in the church.
What was that? It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church.
Yeah, and I discovered a hitherto unexplored anthroponetical phenomenon in there too. A 2mm hole in the world.
That's great. Anthroponaut is a great new career for you. After police officer. I don't care. Go live in the Pale.
4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned, so he put them in there. It's okay.
It's not that okay. Get off this subject now.
I found a dead man missing man on the boardwalk.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
How'd you know?
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, detective.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
I also fixed the strike.
How? It seems to be ongoing. I see red banners on the gates.
He didn't quite solve it. He cross-pollinated information between the company rep and Evrard, until the rep came to see that the Union desires war, at which point Mrs. Messier decided to...
What? Hand clear the terminal?
I just told some people some things, no big deal.
Sounds like you got played, Harry. Because you were off your tits on Al Ghul.
How'd you know about the Al Ghul?
It doesn't matter how I know about Al Ghul. What matters is, you're Everett Clare's peony now. Just as I said. He's a mob boss, did you know?
It's not quite like that. The move allowed us to stabilize things here. It was not bad for Martinez, and we don't owe anyone anything.
Okay.
Silence. Good. The man doesn't know what to say.
The killer, Lilianovich Dross, we have a strong motive for him.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
I don't have time for this. Straight to the motive, please.
Of course, excuse me. I just thought it was noteworthy.
He killed the mercenary in an act of jealousy.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years. Like 70-something.
A strange psychosexual fascination. The result of spending all this time in solitude on the islands of this bay. And trauma too. He himself gave a political reason. In his mind, he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died. Right on the island. And 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
It's way more than that.
It's my masterpiece. They'll teach it at cop school.
Masterpiece? Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
God damn it. It is bad. Even you can smell it. Chin up. Keep focusing on the positives here.
I also looked into the myth. He doesn't care. I confiscated drugs from Kuno's dad.
Who's Kuno?
You don't want...
You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. You snorted the drugs, I know you did. It's alright. I mean, at this point, anything is but the drink.
So what do you say? You want to take this hot shit back?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude?
Honestly, anything that ends this trial is okay with me.
But he's been drinking, she thinks. This is exactly how he gets out of this every time. It's bad for him, but...
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are.
Wait, I have a few questions before we go about who I am.
The man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who am I?
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry.
Really?
Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
Before?
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
A Kingsman gym teacher?
No, a regular one.
Okay.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair.
The collection of fallen sportswear I've amassed.
Some of your more old school social views. How you're able to perform a 360-degree spin kick.
Also,
so cool, it remembers all that shit.
Guy. Just everything about this guy. And this guy, too. God, even this javelin throwing freak here.
When was this? When was I a gym teacher?
In your 20s or late 20s. You've really let yourself go since then.
You said in Quran I was a gym teacher there? Why did I join the RCM?
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries, and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
Okay, I see.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
Why am I like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Dora?
Yeah. Dora Engelund, I think.
Not Dora Dubois.
So we weren't even married?
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol.
When was this?
God, I don't know. 6 years ago? She was way before my time.
6 years and you haven't gotten over it? What the hell is wrong with you?
6 years?
Yeah. Or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Engelund really tore you a new one. A big one.
Who was she?
Incredibly bangable.
Figures.
Extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Heartbreak, Welkin. Pain, Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
Yeah, that's actually really true. No more comment.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
So, Kitsuragi, what will you do now?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About what?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Good luck.
No. Good luck with your report.
We're looking at a real brick here. The sooner you start, the better.
I'm ready.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
The great district hums in the slowly falling snow. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, to Boogie Street, forking into the white horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Dawson? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Of course. Really? Nix Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's quite unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through, and when he does, he'll side with Revachol. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
Lovely. hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. We got a fairly good ending despite fucking some shit up. I don't know if this game's ever gonna get a sequel, but hope it does. This is a long episode. I think it's time to go to bed. Thanks for watching.